This is Chapter 1 entitled Introduction to Information Security. In this chapter, we'll define information security, we'll recount the history of computer security and how it evolved into information security. We'll define key terms and critical concepts of information security. We'll enumerate the phases of the security system's development life cycle, and we'll describe the information security roles of professionals within an organization.
James Anderson believes information security in an enterprise is a well-informed sense of assurance that the information risks and controls are in balance. Many information security practitioners recognize that aligning information security needs with business objectives must be the top priority. Security is the quality or state of being secured, or to be free from danger. A successful organization should have multiple layers of security in place. Physical security, the protection of physical items, objects, or areas from unauthorized access and misuse. Operation security, a risk management process that encourages managers to view operations from the perspective of an adversary in order to protect sensitive information from falling into the wrong hands. Communication security, a protection of all communications media, technology, and content. Network security, a subset of communication security, the protection of voice and data, networking components, connections, and content. Information security requires the protection of both data and physical assets. Information security is a protection of the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information assets, whether in storage, processing, or transmission, via the application of policy, education, training and awareness, and technology. CIA Triangle is an industry standard for computer security since the development of the mainframe. The standard is based on three characteristics that describe the utility of information: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This shows that information security includes the broad areas of information security management, data security, and network security. These are the key information security concepts. Access, a subject or object's ability to use, manipulate, modify, or affect another subject or object. Asset, the organizational resource that is being protected. Attack, an intentional or unintentional act that can damage or otherwise compromise information in the systems that support it. Control, safeguard, or countermeasure. These are security mechanisms, policies, or procedures that can successfully counterattack, reduce risk, resolve vulnerabilities, and otherwise improve security within an organization. Exploit, a technique used to compromise the system. Exposure, a condition or state of being exposed. Loss, a single instance of information asset suffering damage or destruction. Unintended or unauthorized modification or disclosure, or denial of use. Protection profile or security posture, the entire set of controls and safeguards, including policy, education, training, and awareness, and technology that the organization implements to protect the asset. Risk, the probability of an unwanted occurrence, such as an adverse event or loss. Threat, a category of objects, people, or other entities that represent a danger to an asset. Threat agent, the specific instance or a component of a threat. Vulnerability, a weakness or fault in a system or protection mechanism that opens it to attack or damage. Subjects and objects. A computer can be either the subject of an attack, an agent entity used to conduct the attack, or the object of an attack, the target entity. This is an illustration of key information security terms. This is an illustration of subject and objects. A computer can be either the subject of an attack, an agent entity used to conduct the attack, or the object of attack. The target entity is shown here. A computer can also be both the subject and object of an attack. For example, it can be compromised by an attack and then used to attack other systems. These are critical characteristics of information. Availability, an attribute of information that describes how data is accessible and correctly formatted for use without interference or obstruction. Accuracy, an attribute of information that describes how data is free of errors and has the value that the user expects. Authenticity, an attribute of information that describes how data is genuine or original rather than reproduced or fabricated. Confidentiality, an attribute of information that describes how data is protected from disclosure or exposure to unauthorized individuals or systems. Integrity, an attribute of information that describes how data is whole, complete, and uncorrupted. Utility, an attribute of information that describes how data has value or usefulness for an end purpose. Possession, an attribute of information that describes how the data's ownership or control is legitimate or authorized. This provides a graphical representation of the architectural approach widely used in computer and information security. It is now known as the Macomber cube.